Okay, hopefully you can hear me. It's pretty noisy in here. So I have unhooked my Chronicle from the cooler back there, which is where it was hooked up to. And I have hooked up these quick disconnects from SS Brewtech. I plan to get a longer hose so I can move the chiller out, because it's too close, I think. And then I have added 3 gallons of glycol and then another 6.5 gallons of distilled water, which took it up just under the top of the sight glass there on the front. I didn't take a gravity reading or anything of the glycol. Maybe next time I'll do that. I'll just I figure if it evaporates, then I'll just add more distilled water up to that line. I turned it on and it was 89.5 degrees, which means it's hot in this room. My beer has been done fermenting for a week now, so it's okay that I unplugged it from the cooler. We'll see what its temperature is here in a minute. So I have got this thing going now, and we'll see how long it takes to cool down. I think the set point is 29 degrees by default. I started at 10:45. We'll see how long it takes to get this down. I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, just wanted to check in. It's been 15 minutes. It's 11 o'clock, and it's down to 76.1 degrees and still dropping. Okay, it's been 45 minutes. It's 11:30, and we're down to 52.5 degrees. Still dropping. It's going slow but steady. Okay, so it has been a full hour. It's 11:45, and we're down to 41.7 degrees and dropping. Feel like we're going to hit the set point, which I believe is 29 degrees based on the manual. The quick start guide, there's not really a manual for this, so I think it's 29, and then we should see that probably in the next 15 minutes or so. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, so it's been an hour and 25 minutes, and we're now coming down to what I believe is our set point. We'll see if it kicks off once it goes to 29 degrees. It's going to take a minute. It is a fairly noisy unit. It sounds about as loud as a window air conditioner, I'd say. Maybe a little bit less. In between a window air conditioner and a refrigerator. Okay, so 29 was not the set point. I might have to grab the little piece of paper for the controller and see what the set point is. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so glad I grabbed the manual, or the quick start guide says to set it between 28 and 32 degrees, and when I hit the set button, the default set temperature was 19.2. So I kicked it off and it's at 27.5. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I've got the pump hooked up. And this is the original FTSS pump that I've got. And make sure that the thermometer's in there right. Yep. Alright, let's kick this on. And our set temperature on that is 65 degrees. And it looks like we're pumping. And now it's coming down through here. I don't have any leaks that I can tell. Is that air bubbles? There's air bubbles. Okay. So we're at 76.8 degrees. Now this normally goes pretty quick with the cooler and ice. The only downside is that it'll reduce the temperature quickly, and then it will melt all the ice. So I guess we should probably show you this. As a result of the transfer, we're climbing pretty quick over here. 29.4, 29.5. I don't know what the differential is. Apparently it's 2 degrees. So it just kicked on. We're dropping still 76.4. The temperature is definitely rising. My guess is what happened is there's a set of coils that runs around the outside wall of the chiller, and the temperature probe is right here on the front wall. And so my guess is it was 27 degrees right there, but once that pump kicked on and started circulating all the glycol around, now it's averaging out here on 34 degrees. It's okay, it's still dropping pretty steadily on the fermenter. That's a really good differential here with the or delta between the two temperatures. So it looks like this number now is going down. It got up to 36.9 and started going down. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes and we're at 66.3. We're almost to the right temperature. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes or so, 18 to 20 minutes. This should be kicking off here anytime now. Alright, the pump kicked off, and now it's draining back into the reservoir, I suppose. At least air bubbles are. So typically what happens with the cooler is it'll overshoot my set point by quite a bit. It'll drop down to 63 degrees. So I'm curious to see what it does here. Alright, I'm gonna call it there. I assume eventually this number's going to drop back down to 28 and kick off. And then the ambient temperature will probably, it's really toasty in this room because this thing is generating a lot of heat over the last hour. So I'm sure that'll kick back on and off throughout the night. Almost all the glycol's poured back in. Alright, I'm going to call it a night.